hand. No hand. Move. Give me your hand. Get up. Your hand. Lay down. Like this.
Oh, no.
Like this. Yes, you can speak louder like this. Elephant, he listen. Go louder. Elephant not listen.
Out. Oh no. One more, one. One more, one. You say elephant, what you say? Side.
I do not like the sound of that. I don't think I should be on this. Is it safe? I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
I dream to be a role model. I dream to be the person that people can look up to and depend on. When I was smaller, I always wanted to be like my older brother Larry. He had the greatest leadership traits that anyone can have: integrity, loyalty, and much more. His height also probably boosted his confidence. Since the age of 10, I always wanted to slide my feet in his shoes. Then I came to my senses. Instead of trying to put my feet in someone else's shoes, why not put my feet in my own?
My name is Zuhri Burgess. I'm just a boy from Bayless Bay, chasing dreams and trying to make them a reality. I've started to live one of my dreams already. Which dream is that, you may ask? The dream I stand here telling you about is one in which I have gone abroad to school so that I can play the sport I love. I have a motto: dream, believe, achieve. When I say dream, believe, achieve, I mean dream for the future and success. Believe in your abilities and that you will make it. Once you dream and believe, you will achieve everything you set your mind to.
As I stand in front of you, who do you see? Let me tell you who I am. I'm Stefan Paints, a 15-year-old young man that is full of life and has a thirst for adventure. When you meet me, sometimes you might see a boy who is void of dreams, void of ambition, and someone who has no hope for the future. But you don't know that I'm a man who is growing into a man who dreams of greatness. I'm Stefan, who dreams to be successful, creative, honest, athletic, and have a determination to make it. I want to continue to be a person that is energetic, happy, a man with a great personality, and someone who loves the family unconditionally, and a man of God.
A fabulous opportunity to see lessons learned, amazing teamwork by the young gentlemen, and also I think what I really enjoyed was seeing how they supported each other.
I was the host. I was the one who was managing everything and telling everybody where to go and how to do it. It was challenging at first, and then it started getting easy because I understood it and I just calmed down and calmed my nerves down. And then I just did what I had to do. But it was a good day. I could put it on my list for things I want to do in the future for a career if my other options don't work out for me, or if I don't like them. I could just look forward and look back on this as a plan B.
My name is Llewellyn Trutt, and I actually sit on the board of directors of Impact Academy. And I thought this was a great idea. And the service was excellent. A few little things they need to learn, but all in all, it was great.
It was pretty hot, but I guess it was fun serving our relatives food. I think it was good. We cooperated a lot, I guess.
Today was excellent.
excellent. They did a great job. They had a couple of little cracks that, you know, they had to work out, but they did great. So I think it's the learning experience with males only is a great thing for young man, and he's definitely thriving here.
It made us help. It helped us with our cooperation. Like, so we used to argue a lot. Now, like, after this, we probably wouldn't argue as much.
Has the fact that he went in the Bible really is more outspoken. He's starting to find himself, and it's a good thing. It was amazing. It was unbelievable to see the teamwork between the older boys and the younger boys. Since George has been here in September, it's phenomenal the change in him. You know, before he came here, he hated school. And now when he comes home from the day, he's talking about his teachers, the other boys. He's smiling again. We're getting our old George back. And it's all because of all the work here. I'm going to cry in a minute, so.
Hey, wow. Welcome to our Facebook Live, Making an Impact. I'm your host, Chris Crumpler, and just like you, sit back just enjoying the great video of our young men of Bermuda traveling all over the world, in Thailand, riding elephants, in Haiti, giving back to Feed My Lambs ministry, and to giving back to Bermuda and the Impact Hotel experience, and seeing some of the testimonials from 5 and 6 years ago. Just kind of warm my heart. Grateful to be a part. Why Impact? I just really believe in what it does. I really do. I've been blessed to be in education for over 15 years. I've been blessed to be a part of high schools and middle schools and elementary schools. And at the same time, I never experienced anything like Impact. And I'm so grateful because not just what it does for the students, but what it does for me personally and for the staff. I've grown so much as a parent. I've grown so much as a leader just by being a part of it. And I just want to say to everyone who is home and struggling with the crisis that we're dealing with, and everyone who's trying to find some sense of hope. And I pray that today's episode do exactly that it gives you some sense of hope, encouragement, inspiration, as we have another dynamic guest. And I'm just excited to just have the opportunity to be here today. So with no further ado, I bring on our guest for today's show, alumni of Impact Mentor Academy, Mr. Zuhri Burgess. Welcome him as he comes on. Mr. Burgess, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, man.
Same to you.
Yeah, man. So tell me, man, how are you and your family handling the whole pandemic situation that we're all dealing with right now?
Keeping busy. Been working since I got off of quarantine, so that's keeping me occupied most of my time, and just fighting through it, and hoping and praying that it ends soon.
Yeah, man. So glad to see you okay. Glad to hear that your family is okay. So tell us a little bit about what has been your last year like, whether you've been in school or work overseas. I know you was at one time in the States, now you're in England, but just kind of tell us when the past year, what you've been up to.
So yeah, I was in Texas last year, and then this year I moved over to Manchester, England, and it's been a eye-opening year. When I was in Texas, I was still in the boarding school environment, cafeteria, things like that. And then I moved to England. I live in a little flat or studio apartment, so now I gotta cook meals for myself. So it's sort of like my first step to adulting a bit, grocery shopping, gotta take time out of my schedule to find out what I'm gonna eat, things like that,
Yeah, from that experience, man, what has kind of been the biggest lesson that you learned now truly living your own and kind of having more of an adult life, and what's some of the biggest transitions for you?
making much of my time. Because if you keep putting things aside, then it doesn't get done. So then you sort of have to give yourself that pep talk, like you got to get this done. Like little things like cleaning your apartment, cleaning your bathroom, or even washing the dishes. Just you gotta just do it instead of keep trying to say, all right, I'll come back to it.
Yeah. And so now you see why we made you do chores at Impact and why we didn't have a custodian. Hey, everything had its purpose. Everything had its purpose. All right.
Sure.
So talking about that, how did you learn about IMA? And when you first thought about it, when you first heard of it, what did you think about it?
So I first learned about IMA. So my first year of high school, I had run away, and then I came back to Bermuda, and I had first learned about it through Mr. Bean Tariq,
Yeah,
who was a previous teacher, and so it just went from there. Him and my mom were talking. My mom ran it by me, and my first thought was like, no way I could go there. Like, it's an all boys school, and I can't do that. Like, I came back from one of the biggest schools, literally in America almost. I was like, I can't do that. I felt like I was lowering my standards.
Yeah.
It was just at first it was a tough thing to swallow, but I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what are some of your best memories from your IMA experience? You had some great experiences, by the way.
I'll start with personal memories, like with my personal development. I'd say was it my second year? My first year there, was it that I wasn't able to go Haiti because of my leg? Was it my first year, right?
No, because you went to Thailand. No, your first year, I think you went to Thailand. It was the second year.
It was the second year. So and then I remember you coming to me and telling me, like, just because your legs messed up, you're not gonna sit there and not present for open house.
Yeah.
And I had to mentally prepare myself to hobble around on my crutches, up the steps, down the steps, and still present to parents and still represent. So that was a good personal experience for me, because that sparked that mind over matter mindset, and to basically nothing can stop me. And then like fundings, obviously, traveling to England and Thailand, those are everyday things that schools do, especially Thailand, somewhere I've never been before. And then the little things like my biggest fun experience was this swimming. Remember, we all went snorkeling, and you had challenged me to free dive to touch the bow.
It's like 30 feet, 30 feet deep.
30 feet free diving. And then I came up and you were struggling to swim back to the boat. Best moment of my life.
That was a great memory. And tell us about the Thailand one though, man. About, for me, every time I see the elephants and the picture that I posted today with you going through, I don't remember the name of the village, but the lady that had the rings all on her neck.
Long neck, yeah.
Yeah, the long neck with like 10 rings around her neck. I forgot why you told me why they put the rings on, because you told us about that. But just that Thailand is just such a different and unique experience that you, Stephen, and Jerry got to share. But just kind of talk about that a little bit.
So, yeah, it was me, Jared, and Stephen, and then Kyrie.
Yes, right.
So we broke off from the England group, and we went to Thailand with Mr. Gilbert, and it was an eye-opening experience for me, because we was halfway around the world, so we was 8 hours ahead of Bermuda, and then just the things we done. So we had opportunity to ride elephants twice. The first time was with a harness on it, and Mr. Gilbert didn't really favor that. So then he went searching the second time, just us freely, you know, playing with elephants and stuff like that. And in Thailand, like elephants are like their holy creature. Like you get a lot of elephant farms where they basically literally worship, like they take care of them like they're their children. And so yeah, we went there. I remember this day, and we had to learn Thai. Like
yeah, had to speak to it in Thai. I remember
we had
that.
to
I
learn how
remember
to
the video.
speak to the elephants in Thai, or else they would not understand us. So that was a task in itself. And then,
But you had to wear the garms too, the Thai garms.
oh yeah, we had to throw on yeah, we did. And with that, once we learned that, and it was crazy because it was a first time experience for all of us. And I had an elephant. I had a mother who had her calf. So we was going around the farm, and there was a pack of wolves that creeped onto the farm. So I have a defensive mother with her calf. She started to growl, and I'm thinking of my escape plan. Like, all right, cool, let me jump off this way and go straight to the water. And Jared's behind me, like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you guys sharing that.
I'm like, no way, this is about to happen to us. Stafford's giggling. Mr. Gilbert's like, they'll go away.
Yeah. Nothing.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, Gilly.
That's Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, but even when we went to the Long Neck Village, because that was sort of like one of those moments, like, you know, you meet a professional athlete that you watch on TV, like in real life. So growing up, like, I've watched Discovery Channel, and I had watched a documentary on the Long Neck Village, like. So when I went there and actually witnessed for myself, it was like, you know, something you tick off your bucket list. Like, I watched that on TV, and a couple years later, you know, I got to witness it in real life and take pictures with somebody who
that was crazy, bro.
it.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Even the schools, and they showed us how they make rice, and the schools were like, you know, little small school, like a little small school village, and it was just very, very, very eye-opening, and to the culture and the temples, things like that. It's just not an everyday thing you see, and it's not really an everyday opportunity you get, but you know, I'm blessed for it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for sharing. What do you value the most about IMA, and what lessons have you learned from being at IMA?
What do I value? I value everything from IMA. Like, I'll say, you know, since I went to IMA, every moment, every year has been growth for me. And just the personal, everybody taking the time out to personally get to know us one by one, and get to, you know, spend that quality time with us, and just seeing us grow. Like, that's the difference between us and every other school. Like, everybody goes to school to get an education, but an education, you know, can't really help you in life. Like, yes, it can help you, but without getting the knowledge about life, on how to navigate through life, then you know, you just have you just have a degree.
Yeah.
And you can have a degree and make all this money and still, you know, have no clue on how to navigate through life and figure things out when things become hard. And it's just, I value everything. I value everybody. You, Mr. Gilbert. But I say what I value the most was probably me and you, like our relationship. You know, 'cause you always told me I'm a reflection of you. And so that just basically was us, you know, driving and pushing each other.
Yeah.
You know, I always challenge you, and you always challenge me.
Yeah. And that's the part I liked about our relationship in particular, because I know how competitive you were as a person, and I know how much you want to be successful. And I kind of used that like reverse psychology a bit on you by challenging you in public with the other kids, because I know you can take it, you know, and challenge you as a leader, challenge you with your character, challenge you as someone who was focusing on developing not just yourself, but your brothers. And, you know, what was cool was to see the first year you kind of argue, that ain't my problem. That's not my responsibility. Whatever. I don't feel like it. The second year, you're like, yeah, I get it. I'm going to do it. And then like the third year, you was like, hey, man, y'all better get to school on time, do y'all chores and hurry up, man. We got guests coming. Like, I was like, yeah, Zuhri, that's it right there. That's the wave, man. So when you caught it, we was all like, you know, and that's part of the journey, right? It's never perfect in the beginning. Yeah, go ahead.
It was never easy. Like, you know, as you know, and as everybody who knows, I went in there with a lot of pride. You know, I had a lot of pride, a lot of pride. I thought, you know, and you can agree, and everybody knew I went in there thinking I was above everybody else, because of what I had or the experiences I had. I thought I was above everybody else. I thought I understood it all, you know, but that was just me being stubborn, you know, and me not being broken down and really, you know, taking the time out to value what I have and value the knowledge that I have. And then, like I said, each year it just got better and better, you know. First year, I remember the first year I couldn't even look Mr. Gilbert in his eyes. Every time he talked to me, I look away. Couldn't even look him in his eyes. Each year, you know, it just got better and better with me. I started to grow, you know, I started to change. Like I said, you know, I picked up that attitude, like, you know, somebody's always watching, all because I don't know where Mr. Crumpler went.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I was like, man, right in the midst of your testimony, man.
So yeah, I was saying,
about your pride.
Yeah, my pride was real bad, you know, like I was saying, and it was something that held me back. And I'm glad, you know, like I said, I'm glad I went to Impact, because if I would have never went to Impact, I would have still been that same prideful kid to this day. And it's helped me to get a long way, you know. It's helped me to be able to explore different waters, you know, doing the Alpha Battalion. Yeah, that was another pride issue, because you know, but it was something that I knew, and because you always challenged me, it was something I knew I had to rise above, because you know, everybody knew me as an athlete. So when they saw this, you know, I had to rise to the occasion. Like, I had to prove to people, like, no, I'm not just an athlete. You know, I could do whatever you challenge me with. Like, I'm not gonna back down. I'm gonna persevere. I'm gonna find the solution regardless.
But yeah, man. And I love that about you, man. Like I said, we always use the attributes about you to challenge you in other areas. And the pride, you know, what I like about it, Zuhri, is the authenticness of what we did as well. It wasn't like it was a class about pride. It was like when you showed pride, we called you out. We called you out in front of your brothers. You had to sit there and watch me grill you in front of all your other classmates about your pride. And then and what was powerful for me was when we had circle time, and then you bring up your pride, and then you call out another brother, another student who's acting out of pride and who's acting out of fear and who's not being coachable. And like, you know, that for me, like I said, it was the growth of able to, because like, you know, a lot of us as parents and as coaches and as educators, we don't get to see you kind of make that turn while you're in our presence. Like sometimes, you know, guys go off in life and they go back and say, you know, I just want to let you know, I knew I was a knucklehead then, but for me, it was like in 3 years, I was able to see your character to make a turn. And for us, that was just so rewarding, because at the end of the day, like you said, we're not so big on what type of grades you have, because we always say, if you got good grades, but you're a jerk, or you got good grades, but you don't respect your God or respect women, or know how to problem solve, you're going to be a problem for people. You're going to be a problem for the society. So at the end of the day, it's being conscious, it's being aware, you know what I mean? It's being intrinsic in how you perceive life, and you taking ownership. And for us to see you do that, you know what I mean? It was just like, you know, everything else was icing on the cake. You know what I mean? For us, your senior year was just about, man, he's arrived, he's ready, and we're excited to see what he's going to do. Yeah, man. So thank you so much for sharing. I mean, you shared a lot, but what would you like people to know about IMA?
It's definitely a good school. Like, I'd really say, well, really, I'd like to tell them that it's probably one of the best schools that you could send your son to, really, in general, due to the fact that, like, you know, they take the time out to really fine tune each individual in this school. Not one individual gets passed by, and it's a brotherhood. Like, it's not an individual thing. So, you know, like, I have so much experiences that could show. Like, I'll even use our experience in DC.
Mm-hmm.
We had a student, you know, get caught for
Mm-hmm.
stealing,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big test for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every single one of us, it was a big test for, and
Mm-hmm.
that was probably one of the most memorable moments, because it was a moment for us. Like you said, you left the consequences for us. You made us make the decision. You know.
Yeah.
It's not always in life. You know, you're gonna have somebody else above you to make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And it made us come together as
Mm-hmm.
as brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to help another brother in need,
Mm-hmm.
or help another brother that was struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what IMA is all about. It ain't just about, you know, us going to high school together and then outside just, you know, disregarding us. Like, you know, we're all brothers regardless if we communicate every day. But when we see us, it's that mutual respect, that mutual love. Like, you know, you're still my brother. You can still call me whenever you need me, whatever you need. I'm still here for you. And that goes with the teachers too. Like, I called you last week. I called Mr. Nesbitt. You know, I get by the school whenever I can, and that
we appreciate you, man. It's always love, bro.
That
it's
love
always
is still there, and that love will always be there.
Yeah,
that's just the bond that we have. That's the bond that gets created.
Yeah, and that's the part. Yeah, and that's the part that people don't get. Like, even the people that ask me like about my position this time, I'm like Impact is like a family. I like, you know, I know I get you when you hear school, you think institution, but it's a family, and it's just somebody. The only people that struggle with it is people that want to buy into the values. You know what I mean? They want to do it their way, want to go the route. Like, if you buy into the values, you're going to be so blessed, because the values we uphold helps all humanity, and it helps to build a man. You know what I mean? To be sustainable and to produce.
The biggest,
you know what I mean?
That's the biggest thing with Impact, and that's one thing I always tell everybody. Like, the school, like, yes, we worry about school, but is school more important than building a man and building a respectful and well-rounded black man, like a black boy, black man for society? Like, you know, because obviously, you know, we don't have a lot of that. We don't have a lot of children who are born to be different, or children who are willing to be different, you know, to think outside the box and do things that they don't normally do. You know, that's what we do at Impact. You know, we challenge you, we push you out of your comfort zone, because you know, once you get comfortable, you get complacent.
Hey, now you, hey, now you're quoting now. Come on now. I love it.
Once you get comfortable, you get complacent. And then complacency can send you down, you know, send you right back as another humbling experience. But each week it was always challenging. So, you know, you always had to be ready. And that's how life is. You got to be ready for whatever it throws at you, you know?
Yeah.
You just sit around and be like, you know, I'll deal with it another time. When it comes at you, you got to deal with it however you can, the best way you can.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, this has actually been a treat, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed just listening to you, man, and come back some of those experiences that, you know, watching that video, hearing you, watching you, just reminds me again just how much love and how much work, you know, man, it's work. Like, you got nothing to do with 9 to 5. Like, you're committed with your life with this thing. But just hearing what you had to share, man, and watching you as a young man, I just want to bless you as you continue in your future endeavors, bro. I just want you to know that I love you. I'm proud of you. I want you to keep pushing. I want you to know that we're behind you, man. If anything that you need. I guess one last question I would have is, what are some of your future goals and aspirations as you go forward?
Future goals, and these are these are things that you helped me with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll even say one of the things you always told me was, when am I gonna stop being a taker and when am I gonna be a giver?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest things. Like my biggest goal is to be able to give, like, and not expect nothing in return, whether it's
Blessings.
family or whoever.
Blessings.
Like, and since I learned that, that's something I live with very strongly. Like, I'll give without, accepting anything in return. Because at the end of the day, I know, I done what I done, and somebody will appreciate that. But just trying to get my degree. We talked about, I'm changing my degree to international business management, and just trying to just be successful in life in general. Like, not even just successful in the work field, but in life in general. I haven't figured out life yet, but I've figured out, the ins and outs and how to navigate where I want to go with it and what I want to do with it.
Yeah,
and that's my biggest thing is just to be successful in life.
Hey, well, look, man, shine bright, man. Shine bright. Well, Zuhri, man, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate seeing you, bro. Blessings to you and your family. I see everybody shouting out us in the chat, Facebook Live, man. Way to show some love. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. For more information about Impact and enrolling and donating or just being a part of the movement, please join us at impactbda.com. We're so grateful to share tonight with you, Mr. Zuhri Burgess. And we're just excited. Please look out for who's up next week. We'll be back Wednesday to bring a guest about making an impact. And Zuhri, you're definitely making an impact. We wish you nothing but the best. Continue to do what you do and continue to be you. And I'm so grateful for the young man that you're growing to be. And just stay coachable, stay humble, and you'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Blessings to you, bro. Have a blessed
day.
All right.